In this video I'm going to show you how I decoratively top stitch a serge seam. Go to the front of the fabric and just push the serge seam either to the right or to the left, whichever you want on your garment for the design feature. And this is where I use my I like to use the embroidery foot because it has the extra channel underneath it for the bulkier seam here. And if you're pushing the seam allowance, serge seam allowance to the right, you want to line up the edge of the stitch with the inside of the presser foot here. Do a lock stitch to start. And when you have top stitch on a serge seam, you really have to do it over one side or the other side. You can't really do it down the center of the seam because it's going to be a lot bulkier on one side, a lot thinner on the other, and the stitch isn't going to look good at all. Want to get started, so moving it over just a little bit. And for decorative top stitching, you really want to let the machine do the feeding of it, otherwise it won't be even. Just try and press the fabric out right to left, keeping the seam aligned with the inside of the presser foot. And with the decorative stitching, you kind of have to go a little slower than you normally would than sewing. If you go fast, you're going to get a skipped stitch or two or three. I like to sew at a slow pace, kind of slow anyhow, so it's kind of in my wheelhouse. And then it's top stitched on top of the serge seam. Here's the exterior, here's the interior. The serge seam is nice and pressed down tight in there, so it's going to be nice and clean on the inside. But like I said, you can't do it. This is on the side where the serge is folded over. You can't do it on the center seam like you do when you finger press it or you do the scant 1/4 inch. So when you design a garment with this particular feature, keep that in mind, that it's going to be on one side of the seam, not in the center of the seam.